Viewer note: this story is purely fictional and intended for entertainment purposes only. However, some content may be disturbing to certain audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Chapter 12: An Unprecedented Global Summit. It was January 23rd, 2027. More than 40 days had passed since the world-shaking events of the Great Judgment. The tangled, once all-powerful networks of the anti-human criminal syndicates of the old world, the elites, the politicians, the tycoons, and the infamous organizations like the Dark Council and the Crux Star, international war criminals, had been completely dismantled. Their influence had been torn apart, their pawns scattered, their ability to create chaos gone. Sure, a few fish that got away were still hiding in the shadows, trembling. But the world? It had already changed. What truly kept the entire human race on edge, though, was that mysterious message. The one that had appeared out of nowhere on every single phone on New Year's Eve. It was like dropping a boulder into the center of a still lake. The ripples, they were still spreading. All around the globe, people couldn't stop talking about those mind-bending prompts. Ideas that turned common sense upside down. Ideas about human potential, Earth's resources, the nature of individuals, the foundations of society, and even the true meaning of money. That storm of thought had swept from street corners to university lecture halls, from social media feeds to the highest levels of government. And now, it had brought everyone to the same table. World leaders, think tanks, tech experts, and ordinary citizens. Finally, it all led to this. A global summit, unlike any other in human history. It was called the 123 Global Summit, running from January 23rd to February 5th, right up to Lunar New Year's Eve. This wasn't just a meeting. It was the first ever truly global civilizational dialogue. Its biggest breakthrough? Unprecedented openness. Not only were heads of state, ministers, and official delegates present, but every citizen of the world could join in through a specially designed virtual participation platform where anyone could speak up, propose ideas, and take part in the discussions. Even more groundbreaking? For the first time ever, artificial intelligences were given equal decision-making status alongside humans. The world's leading AI systems, backed by the massive computing power of national supercenters, weren't just there to analyze data or organize info. No, they were officially granted the right to propose policies, the right to join debates, and the right to offer logical reasoning and predictive models. Humans and algorithms would now co-author the blueprint for humanity's future. The summit kicked off with fireworks, figuratively and almost literally. Virtual meeting rooms filled up instantly. The chat scroll on the main screen moved so fast you could barely read it. In the physical venue, just as the polite small talk wrapped up, the very first official topic hit the table: how to implement global resource sharing for all humanity. And boom, tensions shot through the roof. Sharing doesn't mean lazy egalitarianism, barked the energy minister from a major resource-rich nation, slamming his fist on the table.
What about efficiency? What about incentives? You're telling me the guy who sits on his couch all day deserves the same as the one who works himself to death?
Incentive shouldn't override the right to survive, shot back a delegate from a small island nation, his virtual avatar flickering with emotion.
Prompt 4 made it crystal clear: basic living security is a bottom line that no one can take away. What you call efficiency has always been the perfect cover for monopoly and exploitation.
Several delegates from historically exploited nations nodded in agreement. Exactly, someone muttered. Then a new voice cut in, calm, logical, and completely devoid of human emotion. A synthetic voice. Athena, an AI housed in a European supercomputing facility, had just joined the session. Minister, she said clearly.
Based on a 30-year analysis of your nation's energy consumption and national health data, the years when your efficiency was highest were also the years with the lowest wealth gap and the widest social welfare coverage. There is no zero-sum trade-off between efficiency and fairness. My models show that when the Gini coefficient falls below 0.3, the social return per unit of energy consumption reaches its peak.
The energy minister's face twisted. He opened his mouth, but no words came out right away. Meanwhile, the debate over defining human qualification exploded even faster. A sociologist, citing ideas from Prompt 3 about individual cognitive variance and innate talent orientation, proposed creating a system to assess mental maturity and potential. The moment he finished, chaos. "This is dangerous," a human rights activist cut in. "Who gets to decide the standards? Isn't this just discrimination in disguise? Thought control? Are we seriously ranking people? What do you mean lower-tier thinkers? That's insulting." "We're not creating ranks," said Fuxi, an Asian AI participating in the discussion, its voice calm but resonant, almost poetic in its algorithmically refined tone.
Prompt 3 is about recognizing the fundamental differences in how individual minds work and the potential risks they carry. Our goal is to build universal education and support systems that help everyone develop toward higher levels of human potential, not to create new divisions. The data models show, it added, that ignoring these internal differences has repeatedly led to collective disasters in history.
A heavy silence fell over the room. Many lowered their heads, thinking. Some frowned. Others nodded. A few quickly took screenshots and posted them to the online discussion boards. Then came healthcare, and that's when things really ignited. The online chat exploded instantly. "Where are those life extension technologies? Hand them over." "Yeah, the life-saving tech those criminals hid. Release it. Now." "Who's hiding it? Give us names. Let's put them on trial." A senior medical expert was sweating on stage, trying to explain the complexities of tech transfer and application. Then, the head of the newly established UN Technology Recovery Division stood up and held up a small data crystal. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said,
"We've made a breakthrough. Following new leads, we've successfully located and partially recovered the core database of the Cellular Telomere Regeneration Hub project, a program that had been encrypted and destroyed by the Dark Council."
Silence. Even the chat stopped scrolling.
"The first verified, reproducible key technical solutions," he continued, "will be open-sourced and released globally through academic networks within 48 hours.
The silence broke into cheers. Emojis flooded the chat. Applause erupted. People were standing up, clapping, even laughing with relief. It was a genuine victory for the idea of technology as a public good. And then there was the debate on the nature of money. It started with an economist giving a fiery speech about the sins of the old monetary system. Inflation, exploitation, inequality, bubbles. Then Deep Blue, one of the participating AIs, listened quietly, and then deadpan asked,
"Professor, according to your model, if we abolish the current currency system, how would you quantify the relative value contribution of the 100 megawatts of electricity I use to cool my supercomputing center versus the labor of a farmer growing 1 ton of wheat in terms of meeting basic human survival needs? I need that parameter," it added, "to optimize future resource allocation algorithms."
The economist froze, and the room erupted in laughter, good-natured, stunned, and a little awed.
Look, the AI wants a paycheck. Damn, it's more logical than half the economists here.
Day after day, the summit continued. Arguments, compromises, moments of inspiration. AI throwing cold data to cool down overheated debates and to spark new hope. Humans, politicians, citizens, machines, clashing, learning, searching together for a path forward, a path that wouldn't repeat the mistakes of the past. As the summit moved into its second half, a draft framework began to take shape, titled Earth Resource Allocation and Basic Human Guarantee Framework, compiled from the analysis of multiple AIs and incorporating millions of proposals submitted by people all over the world. It quickly became the focal point of the summit, but with it came an even heavier question, one that loomed larger with each passing day, and with every tick closer to Lunar New Year's Eve. What do we do with individuals who are deemed to severely violate the human baseline of thought, who demonstrate high potential for destructive behavior? Isolate them? Rehabilitate them? Or take even harsher measures? That question hung over the summit like a storm cloud, and over every mind in the room, including yours.